up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Quiverful Productions, LLC. This is your host, William One is the third. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Hazel. Hey, Shalar. I think you got so much for me. What up, Wade? I see you in here. Hope you can hear me nice and clear. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yo. So you can see the difference between like a podcasting setup can make you sound so different. And because my mic is this way it is, I give my voice a little bit more bass, just so that it's, sounds a little more scrumptious. Okay. So check one, check two. So today we're going to be talking about podcasts for beginners. Podcasts for beginners. It is essential. It's essential that you guys, if you want to do a podcast, whatever it's on, know that you have more than you think. Okay? My nana is asking for oh girl, Shay, you're funny. Tell your grandmother I don't want to break her hip. So that was funny. So today we're going to be talking about podcasting and things of that nature. The first thing is, a lot of people, they just think, well, I have something to say and I want to do the podcast, and that's fine, but your job as a podcaster, and it doesn't, I don't want to say it's so business-like, but you have to be organized and business in your approach. And number one of those things is, if I'm going to do this podcast, I have to be consistent. Now, most of you guys that are on TikTok, that are from there, you know all about being consistent. You guys post every day. You guys take care of things. But it's the same thing with your podcast. The good thing about it is that you can take the same idea of recording episodes and have that in bay, and then you could just send them off every week, every other week, and things like that. So your first job and starting off is hey Topaz. Your first thing in doing podcast is, okay, is this subject and is my presentation of this podcast, is it worth doing? That's the first question. And when you have that answer, you have to continue to be honest about that, because that's what's going to drive you, motivate you to be like, you know what, I have something to say, even though I just worked and I'm tired, somebody got on my nerve, but I still got to do these podcasts. Okay. You want to bring that with you. Of course it's worth it. It's me. I'm listening though. Shut up. Oh man. But you're right though. You're right. Like, if you have something to say, and if it's important, then let's put all our attention into it. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at, is your setup. The main thing you guys already know, good lighting. Do not have the best camera. If you use your phone, that's fine. But what people don't take into account is the cinematic value that you have to put into podcasting. If you're going to do a video podcast, if it's just regular audio, then you're fine. But for most of us that are going to do video, like Joe Rogan shows and all that stuff, you want to have some cinematic elements. So if you look at me, I am in complete control of my frame. I'm in complete control of what people see. So aesthetically, let's say I have a big room. I could have used anything, any space. I could have turned it anyway. But what happens is I turned it this way because, number one, it's longer this way. And it gives me, it allows me to put things in the foreground blurry and to put things in the background blurry, and me being focused. And that just adds depth. So when people look at it, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's nice. So when we look at it, it's like, oh, that's cool. It's nice. It's, it doesn't have to be super crazy, but at least you're creating some depth. I know some of you have like the lights and So how can we use that light? Where do we put it at? Where can we do that? Um, and everything is planned out. Everything is practice. The second thing I want to tell you is that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Okay, so take those mistakes as lessons. How can I make my podcast, this episode better? How can I make this better? Okay, if you notice me, right? So we're gonna do some just slight filmmaking. If you notice me, I created what you see in the frame right now, and so I created it. If you notice, some of the best frames and textures that you see is dark, light, dark, light. If you see, I have light. My light is coming from over there, so I have light. Then I have dark, and then behind me is light, blurry, over there. But over here, it's not as lit behind me over there, but it is over here. So what I'm doing is that I'm creating levels and textures so that when I focus on me, it just brings it pops me out. Like when you're doing makeup and you put that accent color, it makes you pop. So when we're looking at doing video for podcasting, let's look at making ourselves pop. How can we do that? Okay, I have a big room. I can use whatever, but I bring it in close so that you're centered on what I'm saying. You hear what I'm saying, and for all the junky people, now people can't see the clothes or the stuff you might have on the floor. You know what I mean? But you get to control your frame. Be intentional. You have something great to say. You have something to share, whether it's about makeup, whether it's about relationships, whether it's about self-care, whether it's about the health of black men in America, health of women in America. You have all that available to you. So if you start a podcast, if you start these things, if it fails or something doesn't go as good, it's on you. If you fail or things don't go well, it's on you. I see a bunch of people doing podcasts and they just throw it together. No. Let's take some intention into that. Damn, Sadiddy. Sadiddy said, damn, that hurt. No, but it's true. Because I'll put it to you this way. If you go to get your nails done, or if you go to get your hair cut and you tell that person what you want and they don't do it, it's their fault. And you should take the same approach. If I don't take the time 15 minutes a day to think about what I want to do, brainstorm, all that other stuff, then it's on me. You want to throw something together just fast, that's exactly what it's going to look like. But if you don't have a lot of technology, you don't have a lot of stuff, then let's think about how can we make it look amazing? What can we do? I only have one light on and one light in the back. Do I have cinema lenses and all this other stuff? Yeah, I do. But I kept it simple. One light in front, one light behind. Create texture. You know what I'm saying? So just take the time to look at how we want ourselves to look. Okay. All right. So we're gonna look at my setup real quick. This setup literally cost me, my podcasting setup literally cost me between $200 and $300. Okay. Okay, we're gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna slow it down a little bit. What in the world? No, we ain't doing that. All right. So let's take a look at look at the setup that I have here. Okay, and this is just a basic setup, but I can make it look like, oh, I'm this big podcaster, all this other stuff. Stop worrying about that. Let's take a look at my setup, and I'm sure, and I didn't clean it up because I want you guys to see exactly what goes in and what things you might have to change. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is my setup. This this is what I have here. If you notice right here, I had this is my camera, and it could be measure twice, cut once. Exactly, Sadidi. Exactly. It's very true. Perfect your idea before presenting. Exactly. Exactly. It's Samoan's fault. um. So what you have, I have an extensive setup because I do filmmaking and things like that. But looking at the basics right here, this is the Focusrite. Okay, and we'll look at prices on that. The Focusrite over here, what you'll see, I have the Focusrite. I have my microphone set up. This is the Shure M7B. It's an expensive microphone. About all right. So all these things I have, I've built. Okay, I built these things. So I have the Focusrite, which has two XLR cables. And if you know anything about XLR cables, this is what you'll usually see in church when they have like a microphone and the XLR cable going from the microphone to the board. And so I have two of them into a splitter, and it travels all around here and it goes into the microphone here because I want to be able to control my left side and my right side. Where are you at? Okay. Okay, so that's the Focusrite. So what you have here, this is, and I left it like this on purpose. You have to be responsible for your equipment. And so every Friday and Saturday, I clean up this stuff right here. So this is the XLR cable to a splitter. This controls my left side. What would you hear on the left side? This controls my right side. So now I have full control over the left and right. This controls the main audio for your headphones. And if you press this, this just kind of helps you with fading in and out. And there's a button here that says 48 volts, which means phantom power. Some of these mics, you have to find out when you get a microphone, you have to see if this requires phantom power. Okay. Phantom power is 48 volt biofreeze, huh, Grandpa? Listen, don't play games. You right, biofreeze all day, baby. But I have biofreeze so that when I'm editing all day, then I use it to release my muscles. Okay, so this all this stuff right here can 40, you see that red button, that's 48 volts. That means phantom power. That means some microphones require extra power. Okay, this is my microphone. I have a microphone stand. Okay, now some of you can have a smaller one or whatever, get your mic as long as it's close to your mouth. If you don't have a lot of, or even if you have like your headset microphones for like your iPhone and things like that, or whatever you have, as long as you set that, you can set it up on something like this or on a box and things like that, so that it doesn't move, and you can talk straight into it. Okay, so I have that connecting. This is the microphone Shure M7B. Okay. And this is my Netflix approved camera. If you don't have that, which most of us don't, we can get a regular camera, put it back, and then you focus in how you want. I'll put it all the way over here. I'll put it all the way over there, and I'm sitting somewhere over here so that I can get that nice blurry effect. It's called depth of field. Okay, so I have that right there. This right here is my light. This right here is my light shining down on me. Boom. Okay. Now the reason why I left it look like this, usually I would just clean up so you guys wouldn't see it, but I left it like this so you guys can see. Always keep your workspace clean. Take a break during that day, like every day, cleaning up your workspace. Like this, I took this one yesterday, and always clean up your stuff. This is me getting ready for my podcast, you can see. But always clean up your stuff. These are the snacks, all the thing, I'm working. Take the time, clean up your spot and things like that. All right. Now let's take a look at what some of this stuff costs, all right? And you don't have to get them that type of microphone. You can get whatever you need, but it is easier if you have an interface. Okay, let me say this again. You don't have to have the same thing that I have or whatever, but you will need a interface that makes it easy. Okay, and what happens is this Focusrite connects directly into my computer. You can do it right into your laptop, and you'll be able to control your volume how you want it. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so we're gonna go to the Focusrite. You can go to Amazon. Okay, so you have the solo one, right? I don't recommend the solo because then you can only, if you want to have more than one person, you won't be able to do that. But the Focusrite is only $99. This one is only $99. All right. Usually this would be like for guitar or whatever, but you can use it for microphone, whatever it is. But you have the USB audio interface. And those that are musicians, you can actually plug in, log onto your YouTube recorder and to see. You can start your. Oh, Amber, thank you for that. Those that are musicians, if you want to do something live, like this, then you can plug into here, plug into your laptop. If you and for some of them, there's an adapter you get. You can plug right into your iPhone and be able to, and then plug into that and be able to do your stuff through that way. Hey, that's me. I'm a musician, exactly. And so, like even when you play Samoan, when you sing and play, it's good. But now imagine being hooked up into your phone or whatever, doing how you do. It's gonna be a floodgate. But anyway, moving on. moving moving on. If you get the interface, you'll have a lot. Okay. But this right here is the Scarlett 2i2. This is only $159, and I suggest you get this. Okay. You get 2 inputs. Okay, so let's say you shoot your podcast, right? And now you want to interview somebody else. Now you have a mic for them and a mic for you. And when you bring it in, how you edit or whatever, we'll go over editing later. But when you do that, now you can have both people hooked up to the to your microphones. You guys can have a conversation together, and you'll get clean audio. Okay, now if you take a look right here, you can see you have gain that controls the left, gain controls the right. Direct monitor is for you to hear. It's for you to hear, like you might hear yourself twice, but it brings you in to hear that. But you'll be hooked up to your computer through the Focusrite, so you don't have to worry about that. And then there's that 48 volts. If you don't click that, and your microphone requires 48 volts power, you will not be heard. If he was using a cup and a string flooding, oh my gosh, that's true. I actually have. It's a floodgate whenever he's on anyway. Well, yeah. So that's one thing. Okay. So the first thing is working on getting an interface for your computer so that you can do these things. You have your microphone hooked up. Now, there's other brands that are cheaper, but what Focusrite does is that it takes care of all this stuff for you. They even have one, check this out, for $189 that gives you the headphones and it gives you the XLR cables. Okay. All right, now let's talk about microphones. Okay. You want to get a cardioid microphone. Okay. Now they're coming out with new stuff, and it all depends on how you want. They got stuff for $44. The Shure, this is actually from the same thing as Shure, the same company that makes this. This one's $45. Now the reason why we like cardioid patterns is that because wherever I put the microphone in front, that's where you will hear. So if you see I'm far away, so you can't really hear. All right, you hear me, but it's over there. But when you get right here, it's like, hello, welcome to podcasting for beginners. We hope you enjoy yourself. Then you have that. So you want a cardioid mic that captures you and doesn't capture all the noise in the room tone, or limits the amount of room tone that you have in there. Okay. So you have different microphones for that, but the cardioid pattern is better. And what we can do real quick, cardioid pattern of microphone. Let's take a look here. Okay. So if we see here, every microphone has a pattern. And if you want a cardioid microphone, this is what it captures directly in front. Some mic, now the omnidirectional mic is the one that gets all around here. And sometimes you guys got mics that's capturing all the sound around here and it's not coming out as good. And then your computer has to work harder. You got to work harder. Let's keep it simple. We want to do the cardioid microphone. Okay. Now, if you in a rap group like Simone is, and he has a rap group and he's just chilling, you gotta switch your screen. We just see. Oh, my fault. I apologize. Thank you. Sorry. So this is the cardioid pattern right here. If you look closely, let me go in. Let me go in real quick so you can see it nice and good. What you doing? Okay. So this is the cardioid pattern, and the musicians understand this. This is the pattern of that cardioid mic. So in the microphone right here, I want you in the camera, baby. Don't act like that. Okay, here we go. So it's capturing this, right? It's capturing everything from that side, and the farther away you get from the mic, the less you'll hear, of course, right? But it's capturing that sound from over here as much as it can. But this is the sweet spot. So when you set up your podcasting, make sure that your microphone is set up so that you are talking into the sweet spot. Make sure that you have the sweetest spot so that you can talk into it. Hey guys, what's going on? And now, because I have it here and I'm in the sweet spot, I don't have to talk so loud or project. Hey guys, let's go. I can just relax and be myself. So, number one, understand why you are doing the podcast. Number two, you want to start looking at your setup. You need to get a interface. An audio interface will make things easier and less contraptions for you to use. Third, your microphone. If you're going to do podcasting and things of that nature, you want to get a mic that's cardioid, a cardioid pattern mic. Okay? Cardioid pattern mic. Now, I want you guys to see this out because I really want you guys to understand this. Let me show you guys this. Okay. These are the different microphones. This is their different patterns. Okay, so now you over here talking on the other side of the mic, but you're also getting this sound. You're over here talking, but you're still getting this sound. You're over here talking. So these mics, certain mics have different that. So you want the one that's capturing you right here, centered on you. Okay, I just want you to see that picture so you understand. All right. A lot of people get omnidirectional mic. This is an omnidirectional mic. It's getting everything around. So if you got kids and stuff like that, you're going to be heard. You're absolutely going to be heard. How did you make this seem so I was just so omnidirectional. All right, so now you got cardioid mics. That you got super cardio mic, Teresa. I 100% agree to being studious about Professor Destroy. This is a super cardioid mic, okay? Cardioid pine is a highly directional microphone puller. The idea cardioids are 5 to ratio. You guys aren't going to understand what that means, but what if you just look at the picture, it's capturing in front of you here, but it's also capturing a little bit behind it, a little bit behind it. Okay, okay, and I'm gonna need. See, it's times like this you think, man, I should have paid for that Spotify thing. All right, so okay, so we have that. So interface, microphone. Okay, boom. Now cameras, right? Some of you may be using your phone. There are cameras that you can use. There's your phone that you can use, but let's set the phone up right. Okay, we're gonna set the phone up sideways, as such. Okay, bear with me. Nasty, I was talking about. Wow. So we're gonna turn the camera sideways, just like this. Okay, when we're filming our podcast, we want to be able to get everything in now, if you're just doing podcasts just for social media or TikTok, then you can turn it and just have it. But make sure you're spacing yourself to where you're not like, hey guys, welcome to my podcast. I hope everything's great. Well, what we're going to be talking about today, and all they see is your nose hairs. Okay? Give yourself some space. Create the visual. So if I'm here, right? Maybe I have a desk in front or whatever, right? Or maybe, and so create texture if you're just going to do podcasts to TikTok. Create that texture. Get something in front, something to the side, blah blah blah, and things like that. Again, control the frame. It is your fault if the frame looks like trash. Okay. Now this is another thing that we need to work on. If you're going to be doing your phone, these guys can't see it, but this low angle, you want to see where you take the phone? Let me switch over. Where you see the phone, would you use a secondary mic for editing purposes? To capture audio, yeah. Yeah, if you want. I trust this, but if my mic's been messing up, I'll have a secondary microphone that it's called a Zoom. You can do that, or what's really good in my opinion is your iPhone audio. If you got everything set up, you can second shoot on that as well to get the audio and that. Okay, so if you're gonna use two mics or if you're gonna use two cameras when you start your podcast, this is so that you don't have to look for everything. Make sure you create a slate, and a slate is something like this. Okay. Now, in the camera, you see me doing this. In the phone, you see me doing this, and on the microphone, the sound, you hear the clap. So now, when you bring it into editing, it's easier to sync up the video and audio tracks. Okay, don't forget that. So if it's not live, that's one thing. But if you're going to be editing this later and doing this stuff later, you definitely want to have a sync point for your cameras and all of your microphones. Please do not forget that. Please. Yeah, I know this filter will not come off. I don't know where it came from, Shalar. I keep getting skinnier. I need a real life filter. I need a real life filter. Uh, um, okay, so other thing is angles, right? Okay, so those that see me on TikTok and those that see me here, if you notice, or you may not, it seems like I'm slightly, like I'm head on, but the camera is actually up above me, right? And that gives me a little maybe a slimming effect and things like that. Some of y'all, I'll be seeing some of y'all be up here like this, like, hey guys, you know. But but give yourself a little bit over, like just a little angle, okay, so that's flattering. And this low angle, if you guys are doing the podcast, the TikTok or whatever, please stop this angle. Please, please. Hey, Deaf Mage. Hi, how are you? Please stop this angle right here. Because what happens is it's not flattering. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with how much you weigh or anything like that. The angle's not flattering. Now some people can get away with because they look good at every angle. But I know for me and most people, this angle right here, it doesn't connect me to you. It gives me the it gives me the feeling that I'm just sitting, you you're sitting in on something. But if you want to create an experience for people, if you want to create an experience for people that come into your life, that took the time to come into your life, be responsible for the frame. So bring the camera up, eye line, okay? Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to, okay? Now I'm looking at the camera, and I have my camera above my monitor so I can look at my stuff and look up there. Hey guys, how's everything going? On TikTok or Instagram, wherever you're at, I got the camera. I'll keep the camera up here. If you notice on all my videos, when I do my lives, I have it on a tripod, and I always keep it above me or level to my eyes because I want people to feel me when I'm talking to them. Yeah, very smooth skin, bro. Thank you so much, man. It's from not get anyway. Never mind. Um. Hey, 21. So all these things. I know it seems like it's a lot, but I'm doing it on video so that you guys can look at it later and things like that. But look at these things, okay? Take your time. My opinion is to first build the frame. What do you want people to see when they're looking at your live, when they're looking at your stream, when you're doing these podcasts and things like that that have video to them, okay? Take your time. Look. All right, this looks weird. I don't like that. Nah. And please, before you get wisdom, but also, get somebody who has an eye. Don't just get anybody who be like, it look all right. It don't matter. It does matter. It does matter. Okay. So now what I'm doing right here, because I saw this, I put a box on top of my holder. So now instead of having that low angle, boom. Okay. I put my phone in the box. Just little things, Now, excuse me, I had to get that water in. Take time to get that water in. What I will, Hazel, let's talk about lights. You can use natural light. Um, let's see here. Where are we at? We can use natural light, but remember, natural light moves. So if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to do it for a certain amount of time. Okay. Um, all right, let's look at that. I want you guys to see this. All right. So if we have it here, if you look, these like in the daytime when I'm streaming, I will use. Let me go on TikTok so you guys can see it. I will go and open up the shades here, and it gives me a whole bunch of gray light. What up, Terrell? Hey, Butterfly Queen. Hey, Kalani. Thank you so much for coming in. We're on. Please come over to YouTube, Quiverfro Productions LLC. Like, subscribe, and just show some love. We're just over there trying to get these tutorials done for you guys. So I have that, and so I'll open it up to get that natural light, but the light goes down. So now I have a white light. I have a white light up here, okay, and this lights me, and it gives me some great light. I have an umbrella now. I have an umbrella over it, so that the umbrella is used as a diffusion to keep me from keeping the light being so harsh. If you look at those makeup lights, if you look up those makeup lights, you'll see that they have something in front of them. It has like a like that plastic in front of them, and and what happens with that is that it provides a diffusion so that certain when you see certain makeup artists and things like that, if you notice, they have that nice ring around their eyes and things like that, and it doesn't look so harsh. Let me see. Let's go to one of my favorite TikTokers. One of my favorite, and one thing about her is that she has amazing light. She has amazing light. So let's I want you guys to take a look at this. Okay, boom. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna look at one of my favorite TikTokers, Hazel Love. Show her some love. She's amazing. But I want you guys to take note of something.
Hey, you guys, what's up?
I want you to take a look at the light, okay? On her eyes, where the light's coming from. Amazing. She's gorgeous, beautiful. But what's really good is that it's not only her lights, but it's diffusion of her lights and where that light is placed. Okay, she's taken into account her frame. And I want us all to take account of that. She's taken into account her frame. I think I'm missing a comment. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Okay, look. She's taken into account her frame. I want us all to think about that. Where's the light coming from? If she's staring at it, it's coming from the same place my light is coming on, but mine's is softer, like more. Hers is brighter because she's showing her makeup. She's showing her skin. She's showing the saturation. She's showing the glistening off her hair. Okay, she's showing like now check that. You ready? You ready for this? Taking into account her frame, look at that. She has corners. She's shooting so that her back is facing that corner. It provides dimension. It provides shading. You got the plant right here, little something in the background, so it's not just some white wall and it's boring and things like that. That is called taking into account of your frame. Taking into account of your frame. All right, well, we're just going to get off of that real quick. She was going in real quick. We're just leaving it at that. All right. But and she doesn't have like 8 lights. Don't be so concerned with what other people have. Use what you have and place it where it needs to be placed so it gives the effect. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so it's all about placement. You can set up your frame this week. For those of you that are going to do your TikTok videos, hey Kat, for all of you that are going to do your TikTok videos, everybody that's going to do their things, I want you to take some time and start looking at framing. A lot of times, what I'm seeing in these podcasts and streams is that you guys say, oh, this place doesn't have good light. And so you'll go to a place that has good light and the frame's still not appealing because you'll be in good light and still have the camera down here. Or this high angle will be a low angle. Okay, let's work on getting our frame right. We're going to pick up the camera. We're going to sit it so that we're eye level so that people can see it. Okay, I understand some of y'all want to have that high angle, but some of y'all going too high. Bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. Don't be like, hey guys, bring it down a little bit. I want to see what's going on in your eyes. talk to the camera. Talk to what's going on. If you saw in Hazel's thing, she's looking right at you. She's giving you frame, right? She's not open here, but she's giving you frame. Okay? If you're gonna do that podcast and you're talking to somebody, you want to be in it. Okay? And so what happened was that after Samoan had finished playing the keys, then the waterfalls appeared. You know, just like you just want to. Then the waterfalls appeared. Okay, so so you are responsible for the experience. So we talked about number one. What is the purpose, and how that you need to have that motivation. Okay, what is the purpose? This is me talking. So now, because of what I'm saying is important, because I want to get this message out, or because I want to present this stuff and this gift and skills and abilities, I need to take responsibility for what people watch in the frame, to what people hear in the frame, hear while you're in the frame. Okay, so that's number two. Number two, getting the interface. Okay, get the interface. We're going to be looking this week at certain, even if you can't afford it, just start looking at interfaces that could help you. Okay, good job. Thank you, Kalani. Let's start looking at certain interfaces that can help. We could possibly hook up our church microphone to it, or things like that. Or if we're going to do it just through our phones, then let's start setting up. Where's it at? Okay, here. See what I do. What I have here. I'll have like a clip. This is a paper clip. Okay. This is a paper clip right here. And so what I'll do is I'll take my headphones, the wire headphones like this, or that you use for your iPhone, and I'll hook it on to something. Like I'll hook it on right here, so that now the microphone, wherever it is at, is right here, and we can talk into it. Hey guys, it's out the way. You're not going to hit it. Not going to be bing 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 bing. It's out the way. So if you have that type of microphone, and that's all that you can afford right now, then that's fine. Use that. So you put it right there. Use a paper clip, or the big paper clip like that, and then now you can put it to the side, put it wherever, and have good clean audio. Are you located in LA? No, I'm in Virginia. And thank you so much for coming in, Call Me Hour. Guilty of that, talking to the sky in the past. Right. You know? Okay, so we got that. Interface. Okay. Framing. Light. Whatever camera you have, we can use that. Okay. But and then the next thing is lighting. Are we using daytime light? If we're going to use daytime light, then how long are we going to use the daylight for? How long? How long are we going to use the daylight for? Because daylight changes, clouds move, things like that. And you're going to have that stuff, okay? That's that. So my light, what I do is that I look at different lighting setups, because in most of these places that you see with podcasting and things like that, and as well as TikTok and streams, their lights aren't extensive. So start looking at their lives and start seeing where the light comes from. Okay, so if the light is on my face, then I know the light is coming from, see the shadow? Okay, so the light's coming from over here. So I'm placing it there on purpose. Okay. Placing it there on purpose. Boom. Because I know I'm placing it here. Boom. It catches me, but then off to my right, which is your left, there's this light behind me that provides some texture. So boom, I got that. So now it provides texture. It's out of focus. I'm in focus. Okay. Def look some getting used to for me, even though Where to look, right? Right. That's why I'm like, because, but if you just think of it, if you're watching a stream, it's the opposite. So when you see it, it's the opposite. It feels awkward when I'm doing YouTube because I feel like I'm looking off, but straight on it looks off. Right, right. But so it's if you feel like it's off, boom. And like if you look at all these people's videos, they're they're straight on, boom. If a and sometimes the videos, if a person is off, yeah guys, what's going on? Just chilling. Things are going right. It's like, why is he over there for? Again, your problem. You're the issue. Okay. Okay. So I think that was good. I think that was good. We have that, and we'll start looking at cameras, and we'll start the next episode. We'll start looking at different organization for podcasting because there's a lot that goes into it. Like, yes, you can go into production, you can record it, but now there's another side of is basically distribution. How do I get my podcast out to the other places? And just to give you guys, this is a podcast that I've done with my grandmother, and it's called. I did a movie that got picked up by Amazon Prime called Fixing Grandma, and so what I did was I made a podcast because I felt like my grandmother, a lot of times our grandparents have a lot of wisdom, and I think I wanted to document it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to have that documented. Everyone be sure to hit the like button and live. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, please. Thank you so much for liking, and please subscribe. We're trying to get my the channel to 1,000 so we can do more. So you just doing that is amazing. So if you look at here, I'll give you guys a little tidbit right here. I'm gonna show you a little something right here. If you look here, you'll see that it says Fixing Grandma Pod, Apple Podcasts, Audible, SoundCloud, TuneIn, TuneIn.com. There is a software that brings it all the way to all these different ones, and we'll go into that later. But you have to have a service that goes in between, like a middleman that does that. Okay, and we'll talk about that next time. But this is the podcast, and this is I think we have 5 episodes. Let me close that. And so this is something I wanted to interview my grandmother about. All right, so I just want us to listen to the beginning of it, so you can see how to set it up, okay, and what it looks like. And listen, podcast is 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be an hour. It can be, but I wanted it something to where
Hello, my name is Chaplain Barbara Y. Williams. Welcome to Fixing Grandma Podcast.
Chaplain Barbara Y. Williams is the first woman of color ordained as a chaplain from the Church of God in Christ in Eastern New York Jurisdiction Number 1. Bishop F.D. Washington was the presiding bishop. In today's podcast, she talks about her experiences with greatness and all that comes with it.
It's a funny thing about greatness. From receiving that, I know I was excited, and I know this was something that doesn't happen usual. This is unusual. This is a move of God on my behalf. But to say, I felt great. It didn't come that way. Greatness just doesn't all of a sudden dawn on you. So, wow, I'm great. See me. No. I was quite humble and still a little nervous.
Grandma, are there any situations where anybody approached you negatively about your greatness?
Oh, many, many times. And when I became an elder, then I really got it. I thought they would be happy like me, but they weren't, and especially the men and some women. And sometimes they would just come by and say, oh, so you're a preacher now. I mean, that didn't make me feel good. It would have been different if I was telling them, come on, look, I'm a preacher. Let's do this, let's do that. But I didn't just go out and just proclaim it like that, because I knew that if I did that, then the men were going to say, oh, that's a bossy woman. And so if I'm going to appear bossy, then that means the other ladies coming up behind me, they won't have a way. The door will be closed. So that suffering I took, and I carried it. And I was pleasant otherwise. Matthew, the 5th chapter, the Beatitudes, how are you supposed to have an attitude? How are you supposed to act? That would have gotten me. Never mind the people.
Okay, so that is an excerpt from Fixing Grandma podcast. That's an excerpt. If you guys go, if you just watch the rest of it, she has some on raising children. My grandmother had 11 children, so she's had some experience with that. How to deal with being offended, part 1. How to deal with being offended, part 2. And so we kind of stopped it there because we wanted to, things were changing, and I was, moving and things like that to Virginia. So this is the we're gonna work on season 2, but this is that right here. Okay, check it out. Tell me what you think. Hope you enjoy it. Now this is just audio. Okay, this is just audio. So with audio, for the podcast, this is 15 minutes. I recorded her for 45 minutes to an hour. Because, I let her tell her stories. I asked her questions, engaging questions and things like that. And so for 45 minutes, what I got out of it was dealing with greatness and raising children. Okay, so now you can record. Once you determine how long your podcast is gonna be, then you can look at it and be like, all right, well, I can get 2 episodes out of this, or I can get 3 episodes out of this, and cut it up nicely. But you definitely want to determine how long your podcast is going to be. It varies. People will tell you, but if you like the content, people will watch it. Okay, people will watch it. Okay. So hope I didn't give you too much. Hope it wasn't overbearing. But right now, what we're going to do, we're going to leave it open to some discussion, to some questions. If you guys have any questions, just pop it in right now, and we'll just wait for those. If you guys have any questions, do a recap. Okay, I will do a recap. So as you guys put the question in, the first thing that we're dealing with is the The reason why we're doing the podcast, and to keep that as your center so that you can not only be motivated, but that you'll be committed. Motivation is fine, but commitment is everything. So you find your center, your purpose of why you're doing the podcast. Secondly, you want to get an interface. We're going to look at interfaces this week, how much they cost. This might be good. Okay, I might only need one mic. If it's just me, then I'll only need one mic. If we're going to be doing other people, then I might need to have a different interface that helps me do two. 3 is your frame. You are responsible for the frame. Okay, we're responsible for what people see, your lighting, your camera placement, your mic placement, cardioid mic. You are responsible for what people hear and what people see, and never take an attitude of like, it'll be all right. We'll just get away with that. No, you try the best to what you can for your setup. If you're going to use a natural light, make sure it's at a time of the day where the light doesn't change so much. Place your camera up. Stop bringing it below, so much below that you look like people looking up at your nose. See where you want to place the light. Okay, create texture. And most of you guys have that. You know, if you're recording just for regular podcast, video podcast, and it's not on social media like that, then you can turn the phone sideways. If not, keep it that way. Give yourself always give yourself some headroom and some side room so that you can zoom in and out if you need to. Okay, you always record with extra space. Okay, so that you'll be able to zoom in if you need to. Okay. Everyone be sure to hit the like. Okay, pod with purpose. Exactly. Thank you, Will. Very informative. Much appreciated. Oh, thank you so much for coming and being here. Are there any other questions? What will happen is you can leave it comments on the video, because I'm gonna do a short version of this and edit it. But on TikTok, if you guys have questions about things you want me to talk about next episode, let me know, and I will address it. Okay, that's the greatness of us being able to talk to each other. What some things you might want to know. For next week, we're going to be looking at organization of your media and where you want it to go and things like that, so that you can be organized and finding your podcasts and things. And then we'll also move on to the software that we use. Some of them I'll give you this. Take a look at Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a software that you house your podcast, and they take that link and give it to Apple, give it to Google. That's what Buzzsprout is, the distribution software that takes it to wherever it needs to go, to all the podcasts that you want to go to. Okay. Another thing is, you're going to do a podcast, set up an email that has, make a new email that is the name of your podcast. In my opinion, I think you should do that so that it has its own dedicated email. Okay. All right. So if you guys don't have any questions, if you guys don't have anything else, we're going to get out of here. It's been 1 hour and 8 minutes. Okay. Texture. Okay. I will stay on, but your domain name also, if possible. Yes. That will, yes, that next week we'll get into websites, domain names, that stuff we will get into next week. That's very good. Thank you so much for that, sister girl. Because that's a whole nother thing that has to be taken time with, and you can't rush through that or else you'll mess up. Okay, so next week we're going to deal with that, sister girl, domain name as possible as well. I love that. Thanks. I love this. You guys coming in with the love. Texture. When I say texture, that means it's just like a fabric, right? You look for certain fabrics when it comes to certain dresses, silk, certain tapestries, things like that. When it comes to video, you want to provide depth. And when I say depth, that means that there's something in the foreground that's going to be blurry, and there's something in the background that's going to be blurry. That looks nice because you're going to be in focus. Hey, what's up, Shonda? Thank Thank you for coming back. So you're going to be here, right, in focus, and something will be out of focus, right? Let's say it's right here, right? Something slightly off right here, and then something in the background, maybe a light or something like that. But if what happens is that it creates, let me get you up here. It creates texture when you have certain things in the background and forward. And so now all these things that if you can choose things that are nice and pleasing with light and shapes. And when you're in focus, it just makes that world around you even more pleasable, and it makes you pop out. If it was just a white wall behind me and nothing going on, and see, this is why, if anybody, shout out to Teresa Petals, because she's the one that got me on my Amazon wish list. She got this for me, the plant holder behind me. And so I could have did it ways out, but I did it covering the corner so that it comes off the corner, off the wall, okay, and the light, so that when we look into let me show you guys this. Those that are not on YouTube yet, what happens is it creates this. So now look at that. I got texture. And that's nice in the back. Now I can put things on it. I can make it nice. Hey, Joel, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. So now I'm creating some texture. Think about what's in the foreground. Think about what's in that. Now, Hazel, when we looked at her stuff, Hazel, remember, it's purpose, right? She's responsible for her frame. So her frame, she's showing off her makeup. She's showing off her makeup. She's showing off the texture of her makeup. So she is mostly in the camera, but she still provides some room, you know. And so now the light is glistening off of her. And so now she's putting herself in the foreground, because even though she's putting herself in the foreground, she's highlighting her lips, highlighting her nose, highlighting her eyes, her eyelashes, you know, her skin, her, you know. So now it's there, and that's what you're focused on. Everything is done on purpose. You know, they never hit you. Oh yeah, I just happen to be here, blah blah. Yeah, that'll work for a little while. But if you want quality, create some texture. Okay, I'm gonna go get ready to end this. I'm gonna end this YouTube stream. I thank you guys for being here. Thank you. Please come to Quiverful Productions LLC. Like, subscribe. That's all I ask, that you share and subscribe, so that we can grow as a community. Okay. I love you guys on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming through. We're gonna step off, and I appreciate you guys so much. So you guys on TikTok, stay on. I'm gonna have you guys come in, and we hope you guys enjoy.